Yes, welcome to today's class. So today's class is introduction to Pixellab. Now I need you all to download this app here that I've clicked on. It's called Pixellab. You can go to your Google Play Store and just type in Pixellab and you'll see it there and you download it. Now when you download it, this is the interface. I just want to take the interface for you so you see how it is. Now you can design using this application on your smartphone and you can do unique works, you can do beautiful works. Now let me click on this my project here. Though when you open yours you haven't designed anything, so this my project button here won't pop up. So my project button here won't pop up. So these are the few designs I just started using this application on this phone, my normal regular phone Sport. So this phone is kind of slow, but what can we do? We'll manage it for the meantime. So like, okay, let me pick on this one now. This is one of the designs that I've done. Yes, you can see this is a nice design. This is an amazing design. So you can do things like this with no restriction on Pixellab. And this, let's go back to the beginning. So when you get here, this is the first thing you see. This is called a canvas. Now let me draw this for you. This is your canvas, which I am sure you all already know. This is your canvas. And now I'll start with the first thing here, which is this all these boxes here. So first and foremost, this plus has a lot of things to do. This plus here comes, you can add new text. Let's click it. You see this is a new text. You can drag it here, you can increase it, and when you want to edit it, you just tap on this pen tool here. On this pen tool here, you tap on this pen tool here. Yes, you can see that. You tap on it and you hit on the pen again, then you can see it brings you to an open space. Then you can click on it, your keyboard will open up, then you delete what is there and you can type, let's do introduction to Pixel. Okay, let's just do introduction. Then we can make it bolder by clicking on this and clicking on this. You bear with me because the phone is a little bit slow. So on this here, so you click on it, you see it has become bolder, then you click on OK. Then you can see it here, you can increase it, then you can reduce it so you can see it better. Understand, this is a text. Now let's do something. Let's yeah, you can see the text. So this plus next, you can go next, you can see current dates. Yes, you can give you the dates if you need the dates for something. Understand, we can put it here, you just move it around. Understand, using now you see stickers. There are different type of stickers here, though I don't use all these kind of stickers. I don't like them, so I stay away from them majorly. Yeah, okay, phone is acting up. Okay, so this is where we are. So I stay away from stickers. Then this is shapes. You can import shapes. There are different ways you can import shapes. Now let's talk about these shapes. Now you can increase your shapes to a triangle, to a rectangle. You understand? Now you can come here, hit it down here, and it brings out list of shapes. Now these shapes, what are these shapes? This shape is an amazing tool, and in fact it is one of the most used tool you will use as a designer in this smartphone design, in this application. Now I love this application so much. Now you can tap it, you see it's become cycle. You can type it half cycle, anyone you need, and you can shape it. You can shape it love. You can see, you can reduce, you can increase it, you can make it wider, anyone to your feel. You understand? So you can play around with it. You can turn this, you see this, you can increase it, though I normally live like this. Then this is something called opacity. This is the color. It's another word, it's another term for what do you call it? Okay, let's reduce it. You see, transparency tool. It's like a transparency tool. Instead of transparency, they call it opacity. Yes. So you can reduce the opacity. You can make it completely transparent. You can reduce it. Maybe you just want it to be like this, or you can increase it to be full width. Now this is colors. Remember when I was teaching you about colors? Now this is colors. Now you can see that, you can see list of colors here. You can see that this is our primary colors, or mix of both primary colors, secondary and tertiary colors, but these are plain colors. These are colors that are not mixed. You see, you can click on either one of them. Now let's say, okay, you want to create a unique design of and a blend of colors. That's where you come to gradients. Gradients now gives you different blends of colors. You can see this gradient now, it has different ones. You can select from the list that are there, or you can create yours. How do you create yours? Just click on this plus button here. Now it brings you to this kind of page. Now okay, let's click on okay. Now okay, this is it. Now there are different styles to the gradients. There's just the half one, then there's the one that's up. I don't know the name, forgive me about that. Then this is the angular, the diagonal gradient. This is the circular gradient. You see, this one you can move it, you can reduce it, you can move it the way you like, you can move it, you can play around this, you can play around it, you can give it something like this, you see, something like this, something like this. In fact, you can just play around it with this. This is what controls, this one controls this, and this one controls this. Now this is, yeah, you can see this, you can see this half. You see that this is different. This is actually different from this, even though they look alike, but it's different. See, it's like the circular, but you understand? Okay, so now let's say you want to change these colors. You don't want these colors. Let's say you want to use let's use my favorite colors. Let's use purple. You see the color wheel that I showed you before. You see where I clicked on. You have to, the first thing you do is, let's say you want to change the colors. First and foremost, you click on either side of this. You see, when you click on it, you see you have highlighted the orange parts. When you click on this, you see that it's highlighted now. You've highlighted the pink parts. So you click on it. When you click on it, you click on this place here. You click on this place here. You click on this here. You click on it. It brings you to the color wheel, to another section. It brings you to the color wheel. Now this color wheel, it has a peak. It has, let me explain this now. let's start from this 2 here. Let's start from this. Now this code that you see here, this FBA93 is the code of the current color that is on this code here. This code that you see here is the code that is on it. Then you see this cycle here, this, let me click on it. You see this this is called the color picker. The color picker. Now if you have a color on, let's say you've imported a background, you can just click on it. You see it takes you to the background. Let's say there were other pictures here to showcase all the other pictures, so you can pick different colors. You can pick different colors. You just click OK. You see the color here has changed, and you can hit on it. You can pick this one here. You see the color has changed. Now you can select use. Normally you can just tap on anywhere in the screen and the color will follow you there. Now this is what, now let's talk about this other one. The second pen tool here is what leads you to write the code. Let's say you get a design and from a company, and they already have the colors they want, and they have the color codes, and they want you to use exactly that color code. You know, colors has different, there are thousands and multiple types of colors. Like I explained in coloring design, there are multiple types of colors, thousands of colors, depending on how you can use them. When you start to add white, when you add white, you are tinting it. When you add black, you are giving it a shade. And you can reduce the opacity, that's the transparency. It gives out a different color, and if you want to get that same particular color, every color has a color code. So what do? This, you simply hit here. Let's say you have the color code, you type in it. This is the X, this is RGB, this is red, green, blue in on the system. Or let me quickly explain what RGB means to you. RGB is a way a computer interprets colors. There's difference between RGB and CMYK. I don't know if any of you have heard about it. CMYK is majorly for printers. Like when you want to print a design, you design it in CMYK. And when you want to do a design that is just for social media, banners, flyers, that's mostly on the digital net, you use RGB. So this particular system is set on RGB, but yet you can still use it to print. Don't worry, we'll be talking about that later in advanced classes. That is after this. If you guys are really interested and still want to follow me, I'll be talking about it in my own personal training, which I'm carrying out, which I teach a lot, and I give a lot of resources, a lot of information. So these 5 days, if you're true and you want to follow me up, you can hit me up, and I'll link you to my group where I give out free information and I give out more detailed guidance. Okay, so like you see, this hex code now is the code. Let's just put a code here. Let's put this code F5, and you hit, and you make sure you always hit on this. When you inputted your code, always make sure to hit on this icon here. If not, it won't change. So make sure you always hit on it. When you hit on it, you see it has changed the color. It has changed the color. You can put in another color. Let's just give it a color CF34G. And hit on it again. There's an invalid color. I just wanted to put a color and see whether it will work, but you can just put it 0000. You see it on it. You see that's black. That's the deepest type of black. So you hit on OK and you see it has changed. Now let's choose the color that we want. You see, now you can play with these colors. Now you can see the color is actually on the black, but now you want to move it to the purple, so you just click this here. Is giving it this is the shade. This is the shade. Okay, let me take it from the beginning. Let's start with this one. Let's start with this here. This is, you know, when I explain to you shades, hints. What is hints? If you can remember, hints is the touch of white, and shade is the touch of gray or black. So it is also here. Now can you see how the principles of design are working? Now pick this. You see that it is on complete black. By the time you start to turn it, reduce it, you start to see it starts to give you whitish. You see that it has reduced. Can you see this slider changing? See it has gone to white. Now you can really see it when we pick a clean picture. Now let's pick a neutral picture. That's a primary color. Now you can see that by the time you hit it, it gives you a shade of white. Are you seeing the colors changing? Are you seeing the colors changing? You watch that. You see that when we move it, you see that when we move it, you see it gives it a lighter color of white. Now let's leave it on this. Now by the time we move this, look at it, you see it now deeper color. This is you are adding shades to it. Now you see it's black completely, but when you start to move it back, you see it reduces in the darkness. Now you can add it, and you can see, if you also watch here, watch this place here, also watch this, you can see the color code also changing as we move. You see, as we move, you can see the color codes changing. You can see it. That's what I meant by color codes. So now this one here, the last one. This last one here is called its transparency. Just like when we show that shape, just like it gave it a transparent color, this is another way to give your colors, your pictures, whatever it is that you have that you want to give a color. You can reduce the transparency of it. Understand? You can give it to no transparency. This is on no transparency. You can see that everything is still changing at the same time. Give it to no transparency. But if you notice this now, as we move this, if you notice the X code, you see that the X code stays the same. You can see the X code stays the same except the numbers that are by the side, but the X code stays the same. Let's just watch that. You see, as we're moving it, you can see it stays the same. The X code stays the same except the numbers that are on it. That's called transparency. It's reducing the transparency and increasing the transparency. But when you move the other ones, the X code changes. Alright, so you see there is a color. Look at that. See, it's beginning to bring out a nice shape for us. Now let's talk about these other ones here. Let's talk about this. Now let's talk about plus. Plus simply means you can add an additional layer of color. You see, we hit on it, you see that a new color icon is out. It's highlighted on it. Now you can click on it, click on this one, you can pick another color. Let's just pick green. I'm just choosing any random colors now, so you can see. Can you see Can you see we can create a rainbow color from it? We can create rainbow colors from it, but if you notice, you see there is more of transparent. So if let's say we want it much more, we don't want it transparent, you see it. Can you see it? Can you see it? Now you can click on the plus again. You see it brings out a new one. You can add as many as possible as you want, but please let it be beautiful. So you hit on it, you can pick yellow now. Okay, let's hit on it. You see it's on, you give it a yellow. Wow, you see this, you see this. You can hit on plus. Okay, that now I hit on minus. When you hit on minus, it will remove it. On the one that is highlighted, you see that this green is highlighted. Now if I hit on minus, it will remove it, but if I hit on plus, now let me hit on minus, you see it has removed. If I want to remove this pink, I hit on minus, pink is gone. Now you can see you can move it to tell the design which one you want more. That means you want the blue colors to be more. There's a different way of moving it, you understand? So you can play with this at your own free time. You go to it and learn to it. You can also switch. You see this one is, let's say you are here, you can take it back. You can switch between these two. Then this one switches the colors, like it flips it, flip it back, flip it back, flip it. Then this is to pick a color. Remember, anytime you want to pick a color, I show you. Every time you want to pick a color, you see that it must be highlighted, whichever one you want to pick. Once you see that it's highlighted, then you can pick the color, then you can pick another color for it. But remember, you must always pick it, you must always make sure it's highlighted. If not, it will pick a wrong color, the one you don't want to change. So let's do something like this. Let's give it, a dark purple. Now let's hit on plus. Let's give it a light purple. Is it too much? Yeah, it's too much. So let's make it a little bit darker. Let's see. I don't like it. Let's make it reddish. Let's see. I'm just playing with colors now. So let's just move it all together. Okay. You see, it has changed the color. So now this is called a stroke. That you can add a stroke outside of it. You can add additional stroke to it. This is stroke, and this is the opacity. This is the opacity of the stroke. Now we have come to the stroke. You see that there's a stroke here. It says stroke. So now everything under here is only about the stroke. Now you can see there's a stroke here. See that the opacity is gone. You can reduce the opacity. You can play around it. You can give it a yellow, and you can reduce the opacity. I don't understand it. Then you can make it blurry. You see, you can make it blurry. So cancel it. That's that. Okay. So that's for shapes. Then from gallery means you can pick out, let's say you want to import a particular picture, or yes, let's say you've gotten a picture that you want to use. Now it might be in different shapes or formats. Now let's just pick a picture. No. Okay. Yeah, let's just pick. Okay, let's pick this work. My phone is so slow. So you can see it will bring it out. You can crop it the way you like. Then let's talk about all this here. We're simply giving it you know, let's say you want to change it to different shapes, understand, for different sizes, for different screen types. This is where you can change them, and you can turn it upside down. There's lock. You can lock it. You can make it circular if you just want it to be circular. You can flip it, and flip it back, you can flip it up, you can flip it down, and you can cancel it, or when you're ready you just click on OK. You see now it's in cycle. It's a cycle format because we still left it on cycle. Now there's a way to, let's say you make a mistake in the cropping. If you want to remove it, there's a way to remove it. We'll come back to that. So let's just delete this. So okay, let's quickly do a short design. Okay, let's hit on edit. You can put it here, introduction, each on its capital letter. You can see this in the introduction, and then you can hit on this one, edit again, and I say introduction, and couple Pixellab. You can scale it up, make it bolder. You can reduce this one. Now I want to show you something. You see that as I'm clicking on it, there are times when I want to click on introduction, but my hand will click on Pixellab. There's a way to avoid all that, and I'm coming right now to show you that. Okay, so let's click on the next one, which is share. Share is simply for, you can, let's say you are ready to save your work and you want to share it. You see, you can share, save to gallery, you can share to Facebook. Yes, you can directly share your work to Facebook, Twitter, Google, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, Dropbox. You can directly share from here, though I mostly don't use it. I mostly save my work first. You want to make sure you save your work first. So I mostly save my work first. I don't use these buttons, but you can use it. And this format is in JPEG or PNG. PNG is for if you have pictures that you want to save them in transparent files, you can choose PNG. While JPEG, like they wrote, no transparency. This is quality. There are different types of quality. There's custom, there's low, medium, high, very high, ultra. And then you click save to gallery, or you click share. So we are not through with our work yet. Then you see this symbol here, quotes. You can see that tool is for codes. Let's say you're designing and you just want to look for some codes, or you just want to look for some text, filler text that you just want to use, something like, okay, introduction to Pixellab, so blah 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 blah, determination, blah blah blah. You can just put it something like this and it's done. Now then let's click on this. This is grid. This is a grid line. This, you can set your grids there. This is for layouts. This is for layouts. I'll be talking more on layouts first later, but let's say you want to set your layouts. You can click on it, you can edit it, you can edit your line. You say you just want it to be here, you want things to be orderly, You can see you can set your grids before you even start designing, so that you know where you can hit all these ones. You can find it out, play around it. You can play around it, you can give it also. Then when you want to lock it, you just click on this so that it will magnet together. You click on this one and you are done. You see it's locked. You can move your things around. You see every time you move around, it gives a line that, okay, we are here. You understand? So okay. Oh, we didn't even put introduction to Pixellab. Okay, I'm already showing you cheats. No, I'll not show you cheats. So if you want to remove it, you can remove it here. Now this is where it comes in. Like, if you've been to Photoshop, if you have seen something like Photoshop where Photoshop has a particular property called layers, this is something like that. So let's see, you can see that for every design here, when you click on this, it brings out the layers tab. You see, when you click on Pixellab here, you see that it has highlighted the Pixellab. When you click on introduction, it has highlighted the introduction. Now there are times when you might click on you say, I'm trying to click on introduction now, but it's picking the Pixellab. So if you want to avoid that, so that we don't just mess up our work, once you mess up your work, you can quickly just click on this. This is like reset. Let's say you mistakenly do something. Let's say you mistakenly make a mistake like this, and you can just easily click reset and it takes you back to the original standard. This is like Control Z. Very important too. It's a lifesaver. As a designer, you must have Control Z. It's a lifesaver. So you can lock it. You see that it has different options. You say you can lock it. See, you can remove it. You see this eyes is to see, to remove. You can delete it, you can edit it. You see, edit it brings out the pen. You can duplicate it. You see that it's 2 now. You see that it has brought, and as you duplicated, you see that I brought out another layer here. You can delete it. So let's click on this. You see that it's locked. See that you can duplicate it. This is text. You can increase the size through this place here. You can rotate it. Now all this rotating, there are other places here that it is, but it's just an easy way to show you. You can rotate it, you can scale it, you can put it in the middle, you can put it here. This is just like an alignment tool. It's an alignment tool. So you can send it to the back. You see that it's at the or send it to the front. You can send it to the back. Now it's at the back of everything. But now that is locked. You see, now that it's locked, when we click on it, it won't highlight, it won't touch again because it's locked. But anyone, now we can pick our introduction and not worry about it clashing with this one. Understand? It's very important. very important. Now let's center this one. Just click on here, you can put it. Yes, it's centered. Now you can click on this. Let's also center it. Yes, centered. Always make sure your works are centered. Make sure they are aligned to the center. That's what makes it. So you can lock them. Now as I locked all of them, you can select any one, so you know that whenever you can continue doing your designs and this will not be selected at all. None of them that have been logged won't be selected, so no issue of mistakes that can mistakenly cancel your work or disfigure your work. So now you can add. You see that if you we are through with this first lab. So I want you to notice something. You notice that this first tab here changes. Yes, it's like a property tab. So for every property you select, there are multiple more properties that are under it. So now before we go to this one, now this one comes up like let me show you. You see that it's a different one now, as we are not selecting anything. But let's say for instance I click on let's say I click on this. Can you see that it has changed? It has changed. What does it do? What does it mean? It has, since it has been highlighted, now it has brought out the properties. There are different functions and different properties for it. It has different functions. It has styles. You can edit it. You know that here this is another edit. This is an edit here, if you remember. This is an edit here. Now this is also an edit here. It's doing the same work. You can see delete here. You can see that it's also deleting here, and you see that it's the same thing. Now you can see copy. You remember that when we clicked on this one here, when we clicked on this and we clicked on the edits, and we clicked on this edit here, and we clicked on this one here, you can see it. You can see it is the same thing. You see that's the same thing here. Can you see it? It's the same thing here. You can see this one here or this one here is the same thing as this here or this here. So this is just the property tab, and just the same way all these other ones that are here, they are all of them, you can find them under this property tab. You can find all of them under this property tab. You can see them. You can see, you can move it slowly. You can see these alignments. You can see the alignments. You can see the alignments. You can see the size. If you remember, then cancel. Now it has more. It now has more. These are the basic ones. Now it has more. Now you see there is something called padding. You can move it to the side. You can move it to the left. You see how it does. You can play with this and figure it out. Now you see colors. It has its own color. You can give it a black color, white color, purple color, whatever color you choose. In fact, you can give it a gradient color. See that gradient that we gave it before? See, you can give it different types of colors that you want. Different gradients of colors. Let's just leave it at white. Where's white? Use this white self. Okay, let's just leave it at white. So this is texture. Texture is this texture is a beautiful tool, and it's a little bit complicated, but let me just show you. But I can't show you on this one. I'll come back to it. Forgive me, this my phone is so slow. I'm using it for the meantime. My other phone just recently spoiled, so I have to use this one. Okay, let's click on this Pixellab. Now you see that it brings out the properties. Now since it's highlighted, so it's the properties for Pixellab. Now let's pick texture. Texture is just simply something they call power clipping. If you know something about Corel Draw, you understand what I mean by power clipping. So you can bring in a picture, let's say a picture style, like let's say this gold, for example. You can click on it and you can bring it and give it a style of gold. Click OK. Can you see that it has changed? It has changed from the normal white, it has changed to gold, to that gold color. So that's like something, it's like a power clipping. Now this opacity, can reduce the opacity. This is max. This is a beautiful tool, but very confusing. In time you'll not learn more about it. Don't let me stress you with all these ones yet. Don't let me stress you. Okay, this is fonts. Now you can change font. Now there are a list of fonts. You can see these are the fonts that comes with the app itself. These are standard fonts. Now these are my fonts. Now these fonts are fonts which now on your own Pixellab, none of this will be here. There will be nothing here. Why? Because you do not have fonts, and or if you have, you have not imported them. But these are my fonts. These are my fonts. I have over 3,000 fonts. I'll be giving them to you also after this class in my resources on my own channel. So if you want unique fonts that you don't have to go and start looking for fonts that we will use and will be a game changer to you, let's click on these fonts. You can see that it has changed. I don't like it. You click on it. Remember it's locked, so you can click on it, but you can unlock it so that you can click on it and move it the way you want, and just take it back. Then you can choose different fonts you want. Let's choose a font. Let's choose this Amaranth Bold. You see. Okay, still locked. I still don't even like this font. We can choose. Now this is recent. This recent means the latest one you've just chosen. I still don't like it. Well, this part takes a long time choosing the fonts. There's a course. There's a separate course. There's a separate teaching which I'll be dropping on my channel, which teaches on fonts pairing, how to create the right fonts, how to use the right fonts at the right time, which will make complete sense. So you can also delete it. You see this Pixellab, you can scale it up. You see it has changed. It has changed. You can make it better. You see that? Or you can delete it. You can hit the delete here, or you can hit the picture and change it. So let's just work with that. So okay, we have talked about capacity. This is rotate, max, font styles. You can make it bolder. You can make it slant. You can underline it. You can give it an underline. And this is, you can cancel everything that you've done. You can give it an underline. I kind of like it like this. And this is curve. You can make it curve. You can give it a curve. I don't really like it. I don't really use it so much. So this is background. You can give it a different type of background. You can play with the video. You can give it a red, give it a blue, light blue. You can increase it. You can, let's just say you just want to select this one here. You can give it, increase it, just increase it a little bit. You can give it like this also. You can increase it further. You can increase it longer. It just depends on you and what you want to do. And this is top. You can make it longer. You can make it shorter. Something like this. But I don't want something like that. I just want something. Okay. Now this is bottom. Same way. Now this is radius. You can curve it. Instead of even having a sharp edge, make it curve. You can give it a curve. So don't take this, I'm just playing around this. I'm not really doing a design. Even a design, everything is mostly about playing, testing what works and what doesn't work. You start testing what works, what doesn't work, how does it go, does it not go. You understand? That's really all there is to be about design. So let's continue. Beyond this, let's lock this one, let's leave this one. So where were we? Okay, we're on background. You can reduce it. No, yeah, just play with it, sure. You can even give it a gradient color. You can even give it this gradient color that we gave it the other time. Depends on you though. Okay, so this is alignment. This is for mostly for this alignment is for long text. Let me show you. This alignment that the root align is different from the alignment that I was talking about. This is alignment for more like you are used to WordPress. I mean, I say WordPress, Microsoft Word, you know, where you can change the text. You can make it this way, you can make it sit this way, you can justify it, as give it different wordings, different spaces. You can remove the justification, you understand? You can just play with it. Then this is for spacing. This is for what we call that kerning. I remember I taught you about kerning, you know, the space in between letters. See, this is giving it different spacing. You can make it long, you can create it. Now let me show you in a better way. Let's use this introduction, for example. Now hit on spacing. You see it's increasing. Let's lock this one. See, it's increasing or reducing the spacing. See, this is kerning. Now you see we've reduced the spacing so much. So do you understand? Okay, now this is okay. Let's talk about this one with this one is line spacing. That is for the front. You see, sentence, that is spacing between the sentences. Okay, then this is stroke again. You can give literally, you can give anything on this app. any symbol, even if it's a picture you import, you can give it a stroke of its own. If it's a letter, you can give it a stroke of its own. If it's a character, you can give it. There's nothing you can give a stroke. This stroke works for absolutely anything. Even if it's an object, you can give it a stroke, and the stroke can be colors. You see this? Wow, nice. No, yes, I like it. Don't mind me, I'm just playing around. I'm not really doing a graphical work. You see, this is shadows. You can give it shadows. You can reduce this, the opacity. You can give it different colors of shadows. It can be white, it can be reddish. Just play with it, you understand, using the particular. Then this is blur. You can make it more blurry, give it more blurry, or you can reduce the blur. This outer glow, you see this. Now we can give it more blur, outer glow. So it just depends on you. Don't overdo this, please. Don't overuse shadow. And there's different type of shadow. There's inner shadow, that was outer shadow. There's inner shadow. Same thing. Move around, cancel this one. Wait, when you don't want it, to just remove it. Sorry, click OK. This is emboss. Let me show you emboss. Let's see time. Okay, that should end here.